Today I'm going to show you a print-on-demand product that's quietly blowing up on Etsy right now. It's not mugs, it's not t-shirts, it's embroidered tote bags, and they're selling like crazy. They're high margin, high demand, and they don't even look like your typical print-on-demand product because the embroidery makes them feel premium. And the best part is you don't need embroidery skill set or a machine or inventory. You can create and sell them using Gelato. So Gelato is a print-on-demand supplier who prints and ships your order from 33 countries, including right here in the US. So your customers get their item faster without extra fees or delays, and no need to worry about tariffs or long shipping time because it's all made and shipped locally. So if you've been stuck selling the same overdone print-on-demand products, this is your chance to stand out. From my experience selling on Etsy, the secret to winning isn't working harder, it's actually working smarter. And right now, sellers are winning with embroidered tote bags because they check all the boxes. They're functional, they're aesthetic, they're customizable, they're great as gifts, by the way, for bridal showers, for example, and people just use them every day. So if you go on Etsy right now and you do a quick search for embroidered tote bags, you're gonna find different options, right? And just look at this one particular store, for example. They've made over $100,000 with just one variation of this tote bag. So if you follow the same strategy and use Gelato for fulfillment, you can launch a similar product line without stitching a thing or shipping it yourself. Gelato provides world-class embroidery facilities all around the world, so all you have to do is connect your store to Gelato. So let me show you how you can get started. The first step before we start designing anything is going on Etsy and doing a quick search for tote bags. The purpose of this research is to understand what are customers buying. Another thing I recommend you get is the Everbee Chrome extension. This is going to scrape Etsy so we can look at what are the monthly sales of each of these different listings. And hence here, what we're trying to do is understand what are people buying and what are some of the recurring themes. What kind of colors are bestsellers? What kind of types and fonts they're using? What type of designs are they using? Which demographic or which kind of customers are they going after? Are they gifts? So very quickly, I'm seeing recurring themes. Personalization is a really big theme here with tote bags. I'm also noticing that a lot of these tote bags are for bridesmaids. So like this example right here, this tote bag is for bridesmaids. And if we further analyze this listing, there are $8,000 in sales. And if we scroll down, we'll look as well that these items are bridesmaid's gift. And the beauty of bridesmaid gift is that you're tapping into volume, right? Because most people have multiple bridesmaids, so they're buying multiple tote bags. We go back to our main search. We also want to analyze if there's opportunities with other niches. So pet lovers, so this is for somebody who has a pet. This is averaging 7 monthly sales. And essentially what we're looking here is scrolling to see if there's an opportunity for us to take all of this different data and blend those ideas together, because it's very important for you to differentiate yourself. You don't want to create and replicate something that has already been done, because otherwise this is going to only get your listing further down, because Etsy knows that if something looks similar, customers are not going to click on it, right? And Etsy as default is always going to push a listing that was done before because they know that this is a proven design and it's going to get sales. So in order for you to start pushing up the rank on Etsy, so meaning being the listings that it's seen first, it's not about advertising. It's about making sure that you have a design that stands out, and you do that by blending designs together. So the purpose of this exercise is to understand what is getting sales and also identify design opportunity and also opportunities within potential customers, right? So in this case, I'm seeing a lot of different greens. I'm seeing floral elements are doing really well. I'm seeing that pet products as well are selling. So I'm just looking at all these different design elements, and I'm seeing also this vintage style coffee tote bag is doing well. So it's about averaging like 2 sales a month. So book lover, oh, I love that. So this book lover floral tote bag is getting a decent amount of traction. And what we can do, a quick idea I have now, is we could take this design element and add a personalization, right? This is missing personalization. That's already how we can make it better, right? And also the other thing is they're using a very different color. They're using yellow. And we noticed from our research that neutral colors are doing well. Silly Goose on the Loose, this is a design that I've seen as well on t-shirts. This was uploaded 4 months ago. They're averaging about 4 sales. So essentially what I'm doing here is going through each of these different bestsellers to understand where their opportunities are and see how I can make these listings better, right? So what you'll want to do is grab these URL, or you can even do a screenshot of all these bestsellers that you're finding, put them together on Google PowerPoint so you have access to them, essentially clipping all these best-selling ideas. So that's the first step. Like, research is king. You have to make sure you do your research, you understand what people are buying, and this is going to give you inform how you're going to create your design and inform what you could potentially blend together. All right, so now comes the fun part. The purpose of the research, again, is for us to identify a listing that we're going to try to emulate, not copy. We're not going to do the exact same thing. We're going to get inspired from that particular listing and create our own. I chose this one because this was uploaded a month ago. It already has 5 sales, so I know there's potential. And my goal is to simply write Cozy Day. Now, when it comes to design, it's much easier than it was just a few years ago, because now there's a lot of different AI tools, which, by the way, all their images are commercial license, meaning you can use it and upload it on Etsy. And all you have to do is add different prompts, like in this case, let's say books with floral elements, and it's going to create those designs for you. And then you can pick those templates and you can change them around. So playground.com is one AI website that you can use. There's also Kittle, and you also have Leonardo.ai. So pick whichever tool works for you. In this case, and especially when it comes to embroidery, you do want to have very simple design. So what I've done is I've actually taken a screenshot of this particular design. I've actually gone on ChatGPT to ask it what font it is, right? And in this case, it's going to provide us with different fonts. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go directly on Gelato, and I'll show you what tote bag I use. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add text. So in this case, I'll show you again how I did it. So you're going to go ahead and use a font that is similar to what we've seen. So in this case, I used as well bold. You can see there's like multiple fonts, and the beauty is that you can literally just design directly within Gelato, which can make your life much easier. And when you actually click the product, make sure that you click embroidery, right? When it comes to technology. And this is going to also choose the color of the tote bag. In this case, I'm going to use that green that is very popular. And I'm going to go ahead and change the font again. So I'm going to use a font that is as similar as possible to the font that is already working. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, guys, right? So I'm going to write Cozy Day, use a different font, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Oops, it's acting up on me. So let's see. I'm going to make this a little smaller so it all fits in one. Cozy Days. And then we're going to use a different font that is more similar to the font. So ideally what you want to do is look if these fonts are available. And if they're not available, you can ask ChatGPT, what is a font that is similar and more commonly used that I can use? And you don't need to have the best prompts, right? When you are leveraging ChatGPT, by the way. It's going to give us ideas of like other similar, more commonly used. So Pop'ems Bold could be a font that we use. We just have to look for it. So we don't have that available. Quicksand Bold. Let's see if that one is available. There we go. Quicksand Bold, this one is available. But in my opinion, that doesn't really look like the design. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see what other fonts are available. Rubik one. I like this better because this is a big, bold font that you can see. So let me show you how to do the upload process. So in this case, I really simplified the design. I went ahead and created the design directly on Gelato. By the way, when it comes to Gelato as well, it's good to know that you can add different layers, right? And you can add images as well. So by uploading your own image, but also they have graphics that are available and at your disposal, right? If you want to add like a simple graphic of like a dog or whatever that is, you can go ahead and do that, right? So really the sky's the limit here. You could do a lot of designs directly within their platform. This is good to know, right? So while you also have access to all these different AI tools, you can also do the design directly on Gelato. So let me show you which product you're going to choose. So first you're going to create your account on Gelato. We're going to do a quick search for tote bags. And you will see that. So actually they're right here. And the tote bag that we're going to use, we're going to make sure that it is a tote bag that has the embroidery option. And we're gonna go ahead and select this particular tote bag, right? Embroidery, and then we're gonna go ahead. And so in this case, you wanna have your store already connected. We're gonna add our product. We're gonna do single product. Then we're gonna select tote bags. We're gonna go ahead and select this tote bag, and then we're gonna go ahead and start designing. So we wanna make sure that we have it under embroidery. And in this case, if we do this all over again, we're gonna add text. We're gonna select this green that I selected earlier. Actually, I've already done that. So let me show you what this looks like, right? We're gonna do cozy days. Now the next step is we're gonna go ahead and continue to our mockups. Now we're gonna go ahead and create our mockup. This is actually pretty important because it's gonna help differentiate our listing from our competitor. Also helps our customer understand what it is they're buying and help them feel excited about their potential future purchase. And Gelato does a really good job providing us with realistic embroidery mockup to show how the design is going to look when stitched through their software. So what I recommend you do is you take a screenshot. I'm gonna show you a little trick. Then we're gonna actually continue to mockups inside their software. And what I'm also going to do is I'm gonna download one of the primary image right here so I can play around. Now, I do like these mockups, they're a good start, but they're a little too generic, right? And we wanna make sure that we stand out from our competition. So what I recommend you do instead is that you go on playset.net, you can do a quick search for tote bags. So I already did the job here, but I wanna show you the options. So in this case, do a search, make sure that whatever template that you are going to use, it's fairly similar to the bag that you're selling, right? Because some of these don't have kind of like the same look and feel. And in this case, what I've done is that I've already created a mockup, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. So we're gonna go to Canva. So let's go here. I'll show you how I did this again. So we're gonna go to Canva, we're gonna create a design. We're gonna go ahead and upload it. We're gonna upload the file and we're gonna upload the screenshot that we just took. Go ahead and do that. And now we're gonna use this as a new design. We're gonna do custom size. We're gonna say yes. And we're going to go ahead and remove the background. So remove this. And then we're gonna go ahead and share, and we're gonna download this without transparent background. So we have this element. And what we're gonna do is, now that we're here, so let's just pick this listing per se, or we're gonna go ahead and edit this. And then we're gonna go here and we're gonna replace it with the one I just downloaded, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And notice how we have a live preview. So in here, it has to be the exact same size, right? It has to be similar. So this is why it's good to have this mock-up here next to you so we can have kind of like idea of what the size is and try to emulate it as possible. So customers don't get the surprise of like thinking, oh, the font was bigger and whatnot, right? So this is pretty accurate. We're gonna go ahead and crop it. And this could be a mock-up that we use, right? And so we would just go ahead and simply download it. Now I'm gonna show you another little trick. So another one is, this is the mock-up that we have from Gelato. We're gonna go ahead and remove the background. And now there's like a really fun thing. Under edit, there's background generator. And you can play around, and in this case, you can say, add summer mountains that are green in the background. Generate, I mean, you can have better prompts than the one I just created. I mean, this is a really bad prompt, but you can go ahead and do that. And it's gonna go ahead and generate a background for us. You can also use different colors and whatnot. And what that does is that it helps you create mockups that are different from your competition. You also wanna make sure that your mockups have kind of like the same look and feel. So I wanted it to be a mountain for the summer, but this is a good start. And this could be, obviously, it has to fit the vibe of what it is you're selling, but this could work, right? Like a mountain for somebody who's into camping, cozy days, and we can go ahead and download that as well. And so actually these mockups, we're gonna upload them once we upload our listing on Etsy. So now we're gonna continue to details, and this takes us to the next step. So now before we upload and list our product, we need to spend some time thinking about the title and description. And now Gelato provides us with the ability to leverage AI to help us do that. But before we do that, I recommend we go to eRank really quickly, do a quick search for tote bags, and look for keywords that potentially could help us rank our listing. In this case, I found laptop tote bags. So it doesn't have a lot of searches, like 227 searches per month. It's very low, but I do like that it's low competition. So it could be a good way to rank my listing. But in any case, like the purpose here in the exercise is actually looking for keywords that have a decent amount of search volume while not being super competitive. I mean, you're gonna have to do a mix, right? Canva tote bag could be also a good keyword that we use. So then we're gonna go back to Gelato. We're gonna do generate AI and we're gonna say laptop tote bag for cozy days. We're going to include embroidery because this is important. Embroidery, laptop, and then it's going to generate for us a title and a description. Now, again, this is food for thought. You always want to edit accordingly, but cozy day laptop tote bag, embroidery, eco-friendly cotton tote bag for daily essentials. And then these are some of the keywords. So I don't like this. I don't like this. Handmade tote bag, cozy, embroidery tote, eco-friendly. Like some of these tags are not relevant. So we're simply going to apply what we like. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to continue our search based on the demographic as well that we're going after, right? So bridesmaid tote bag based on what we created doesn't work, but something you can do as well, by the way, is go back to the listing we emulated and look at, so using a tool like Everbee, you can look at the keywords that they're using as well to get a sense of what is, so grocery tote bag, that's a keyword that I would want to use. So I would add grocery tote bag. I could use this tag. The list goes on. But we can add tags, by the way, directly on Etsy. So we're going to continue to prices and we're going to make sure that we have plenty of profit margins. So we're going to update our prices to make sure that we're making at least $11 after our cost. Then we're going to go ahead and update it. This is making sure as well that it's for United States. Go ahead and update, and then we're going to continue to review. Then we're going to go ahead and publish it. Now we're going to go directly to our Etsy store under draft. This is where our listing is going to be, and this is where we're going to add images to our listing, right? So in this case, I already added this image that I created here, but I can also add as well the image that I created with Playset.net. So this is where I have the opportunity to upload my very own mockups directly within my listing. And by the way, guys, as well, you can also change all your different tags directly within Etsy, right? So in here, I'll do the exercise of adding, because I have 7 tags left. So I want to make sure that I'm leveraging as many tags as possible, right? Based on my research of first, what is available on eRank, what's going to drive enough traffic, and what is the competition is doing. So once I've done all that, I can go ahead and publish my listing. So very quickly, I also want you to understand that uploading just one listing is not enough, especially when it comes to print on demand. You do have to upload multiple variations. So this is just a start. What you can do next is continue within that vein, cozy days, do a quick search for cozy day shirts, do the exact same research process we did at the beginning, where you look at designs that are getting traction, getting sales, and find ways to add these design elements on a tote bag, right? The more variations you have, the easier you're going to find that bestseller. And that's the unfortunate truth about starting print on demand, especially as a beginner. You do have to upload more variations because you don't have the understanding of what is going to get you sales, right? So uploading just one listing is not enough. I recommend that you upload more variations. All right, congratulations, guys. So now you got your trending product that's already in high demand, and you're gonna be using Gelato to help you so you don't need to buy any inventory or stitch these items or ship them yourself. And if you're serious about building a brand on Etsy, especially one that stands out, this is your sign to start. So head over right now to gelato.com, create your free account, and launch your first embroidery tote bag today. And if you want to dive deeper into building a profitable Etsy business, check out my video on other highly profitable Etsy trends making crazy sales in 2025. I'll see you guys next time.